Hello, this is Compound Interest Guy, and today we're going to get into depth about the Aurora Cannabis quarterlies, the Canopy Growth future quarterlies, and Aphrias quarterlies. Actually, Aurora is like, they just gave guidance, they haven't given their quarterlies yet. Anyways, I want to explain, I'm not a financial advisor, this is just for entertainment and information purposes. Do not buy a stock because you heard it here, buy it because you did your due diligence. Okay. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, helps my channel grow, and I appreciate it. So, Aurora did 29.7 last quarter, right? So, that's pretty good, 55% quarter over quarter. Now, they're just slowly gaining their growth, and so they got 50 to 55 million positive earnings growth. That's their guidance. Thomson Reuters thought they do 67 million. So I'm not sure if these 50 to 55 million is with MedRelief. If it's not with MedRelief, I expect that the number will be somewhere closer to 67, like somewhere like 67 to like 73 million, because I think that MedRelief's products they sold before they were owned by Aurora, they were selling somewhere around like 10 to 11 million per quarter, and now they're in the rec stores. So they have their San Rafael brand and their Alta V brand, and the San Rafael brand is pretty popular in the BC cannabis store. They have some of the best strains. They have Pink Kush, Della Haze, Tangerine Dream, like some really popular strains. So I expect they're doing really good across the provinces, and people haven't heard anything bad about MedRelief as far as products go. So I'd say that that would be bumping up their revenues. Yeah, so we'll see, but I still think they're going to be number one. They're going to be beating Canopy. So Canopy did 23.3 million last quarter. So I expect Canopy to do somewhere around 40 to 45 million. They might do a little less, they might do a little bit more, but I don't really think they're going to beat Aurora's revenues, in my honest opinion. They have Doja brands now in the cannabis store as well as them, but that hasn't been in the stores that long, and Doja brand doesn't have that much production. They're a craft grower, so they're not going to get that much out of them. Maybe like 3 to 5 million per year max right now. Maybe they'll grow a lot more in the future, but yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see. I just don't. Okay, so Constellation Brands, the parent company that's gonna eventually take out Canopy Growth, the CEO and the new CEO, like they have an old CEO that's like gonna get replaced soon, and then the new CEO. They were talking with Jim Cramer, and they were saying that they think that Canopy is going to do $1 billion in 12 months, like 2020, but I don't really see it. I think they're just saying those numbers just to bring hype. I think that they'll probably won't get to that number till 2021 or later. Again, that's just my opinion. I think they're blowing smoke, but I mean, if it brings hype to the cannabis industry, that's great. I love it. I don't mind when my stocks go up, just being straight up honest. So I foresee Aurora is going to be in the one spot. By February 11th, they're going to be reporting, and then Canopy going to report February 14th. Okay, so then they'll be in the second spot, and Aphrias going to be in third spot, but you never know. CanTrust could beat them. I'm not sure. I think they probably did less. Like they probably did around like 18 to 20 million, so they're probably shy. But I think their products are doing pretty good, and they're growing a lot. So we'll see. And they should be beating maybe MBX, and then Hexo Corp. I think Hexo Corp probably did about like 16 to 20 million next quarter. Again, I didn't really do too much research on the Hexo Corp, but I did a little bit. So these numbers that I'm giving for Hexo Corp, they don't mean as much as the other numbers that I'm thinking about. But I'm gonna say what I think, and I think that Supreme probably did around like 8 to 11 million, and I think that Namaste probably did about 7 to 11 million, and Chronos Group probably did around 8 to 11 million, and Newstrike brand probably did 7 to 11 million for their reporting. But we're not going to get those numbers for a while, other than Chronos Group in February 14th. The other numbers say they're not going to be really till like closer to April, so that kind of sucks. But whatever, we'll wait. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. So now with Aphria, right? Aphria just reported their quarterlies. So it said they did net income 54.8 million or 22 cents per share. So if you got going like EPS, that's like 22%, 22 cents per share. So on a PE ratio, if they're trading, I'm not sure what they traded at, like $8. They're trading are closer to like a 40 PE, but that's kind of biased in the sense like it's not really correct, because they had to do divestitures of Haiku Brands and Liberty Health Sciences this quarter. So they definitely didn't do like an EPS like organically 22 cents per share. So, but the Haiku Brands they sold because Canopy now owns them. So they're like, no, we don't want to have any ownership anymore. And then Liberty Health Sciences, they had to get rid of it because the TSX, they have to be compliant with the TSX, and TSX doesn't want them to own any companies in the States that are registering, like, because it's not federally legal yet. So yeah, that's pretty much what goes on, and they got rid of it. Eventually they can get it back. It'll be interesting. I know GGB wants to take out Aphrias, so it'll be interesting if GGB does, and GGB might want to have the Liberty Health Sciences. Maybe they won't have the chance to get that. I don't know, but you know, GGB is very aggressive. It could be similar to what happened with WeedMD trying to take out Haiku Brands, and then Haiku Brands said, no, we're going to go with Canopy because Canopy was a bigger company and they offered them better offer. So it could be something similar to that. Like, who knows, like whether it's like a big Fortune 500 company, or whether it's like Canopy wants to like buy them out eventually. Like, who knows? There could be so many different stories. Like, whether it's like a share, like Canopy could take out Aphria. I mean, all they gotta do is issue shares, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But I mean, stranger things have happened, so it'll be interesting. The story keeps going on. Just keep eating your popcorn. It's an interesting story. Anyways, that's pretty much what I had to go on about the quarterlies that are coming up and the guidances and the upcoming companies. You know, got the upcoming like Supreme and Hexo and Chronos and Newstrike brands and Namaste coming up. You know, pretty soon they're going to be doing above 10 million, punching above their weight class. So, because if on the cannabis ventures, you got the tier 1, which is you got to be now, you got to do 10 million per quarter, and so that leaves Canopy, Aurora, and Aphria and CanTrust. But pretty soon they're gonna have to like up that level, like maybe to like 15 or 20 million. So there's like, they don't want to have that many people in the tier 1, I guess, because like it used to be companies that did above 2.5 million, or no, it's maybe 4 million that did above 4 million a quarter, maybe, I can't remember, but that's what it was. And now for tier 2 you have to do 2.5 to 10 million. So now it only has Chronos Group, Organigram, and Hexo and Supreme and Newstrike brands. So yeah, so now it's got like a little less, but those tier 2 companies are gonna punch above their weight pretty soon, I think, and they're gonna be doing over 10 million. So it'll be interesting. Like, that's why I really like the companies like HIP and Harvest One, because I mean, I'm not trying to be biased, but I do own like a lot of shares in those companies as warrants. But I just see them coming up the you know, people aren't really seeing them, but I can see Newstrike doing above like 10 million sometime this in 2019, and maybe even like 15 to 20 million, and really like growing their numbers really fast. And Harvest One, I can see doing like 4 million and like growing to like 7 million or so. But anyways, that's enough that I have to say. I hope you enjoy this video. Please subscribe for future content and entertainment and information, and give me a thumbs up. And until next time, peace.